Alright guys, it is Friday night and we're going to play a little bit of Phantasy Star Online. So let's get started. First things first, load up our patcher disk and hopefully it is early enough in the evening that we can find some hunters. We haven't had a whole lot of luck lately. But you know, I expect better things tonight. Okay, so patcher is loaded. Good stuff. Opening it up. And hey, what's going on? Not too much. Just enjoying a nice quiet evening alone with the Dreamcast. Okay, so disk is loaded. And for tonight's drinking enjoyment, we are going to have some Lime Perrier. Okay, so we're good to go so far. Let me just check the levels on everything. Looks pretty decent. So we'll hit start. I've been kind of messing around lately with my my compression and my gain here on OBS just to see if I can kind of optimize the mix, but it's a bit difficult only because you can't really hear the monitor out from what's going on through OBS very well. You can pretty much only hear what's coming through your headphones via what's going through YouTube Live, so it kind of throws you off because there's a bit of a delay, unfortunately. Okay, let me just visually look at everything here. Okay, it looks pretty good. And my character data is slowly loading up. Online mode, broadband adapter, yes. Yes. And yes. Okay, good stuff. Hey, happy Friday. Cool, yeah, you will not regret it. Where did you get your DreamPi from? Did you buy it from Dreamcast Live? I know I finally broke down, and I think I mentioned it quite a few times now, and bought their line voltage inducer. Just seemed like the right thing to do. I mean, it was so amazingly built. It's just one USB fax modem, and you just plug your phone cable in, plug it into your Raspberry Pi, and you're on your bike. You're good to go. Alright, so let's see. I hope it's not just GameCube players. It is again so far. Okay, well, organize, create team. Let's start UGB. And enter. Difficulty, ultimate, no password. There's one tip I can give anybody that's just starting to play this game online is when you start a room, please do not add a password. It's kind of pointless. The feature is only there because it's sort of a grandfathered in feature, but you don't really need it, and it'll just basically lock your game out as most people won't contact you to play. Okay, so here we go. And the mix looks good. I am just going to quickly go to Dreamcast Live and see if I can put a shout out to the group and let them know I'm on PSO. Maybe we can grab a couple more people tonight. I do know that a few people were planning on jumping in, but Friday is generally the off night for PSO. Okay, so where's the chat? Okay, so just jumping into PSO if anyone wants to join. Cool, here we go. Okay, so let's run around for a little bit and go to the forest. And hopefully some hunters will see our open game and they will want to join us. Let's see what we got in our item pack again. We got Escape Doll, Diemate. How many Diemates? We got 9, 10. Alright, well we should be okay. And 37,000 away from a new level up. Hey, what's going on? Yo to you as well. Yeah, I know every once in a while YouTube will end up suggesting my videos to some people because my videos have quite a bit of discrepancy between views. Some of them have like 200 views, other of them have, you know, 15,000, which is great, but it's just kind of funny when they end up going, I can't say viral, but when they start taking off because of the recommended thread, and then the amount of people that are like, oh my god, you can play PSO online. Now that said, the last couple of videos haven't been that great, only because I haven't found as many hunters as I would like. But hopefully that'll change tonight, and it'll definitely change on Friday. Okay, let's get out and switch to our launcher. Here we go. Perfect. This should work fine. And boom. Now the special attack here uses 200 Meseta. The only downside to it is it's not very accurate. So I kind of tend to use my medium powered attack instead, only because even though it does less damage, I hit more often. So as you can see, when I was doing the heavy attack, I was only hitting once, but I was hitting for quite a bit. This I'm hitting for a little bit less, but at least I'm hitting everybody pretty much every time. So let's just see if we can keep this trend up. Oh shit. Okay, we need to heal up or we're gonna be in rough shape. Now I hope whoever does join in later, as I said, it is Friday, so the big night is going to be tomorrow, Saturday. Unfortunately, I have most of the day off, which means I can actually jump in around 5:30 or so when the majority of people will be playing. Problem seems to be is that when I do jump on, depending how the day is going, it's a little bit late in the evening, so you don't get as many hunters online as you would like, but that's okay. Okay, bang, 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 we got him. Okay, let's dive back. This is the one downside of having an Android with no tech users, is that primarily my guy is a character used for sniping. Has a lot of power, but doesn't generally go full force into the battles. So I always have to kind of get a bit of range in order to get an effective attack. Isn't always great on solo campaigns. Okay. It's spectacular when we're doing group battles, but not so much when I'm on my own. I am still debating starting up a tech character at some point. Haven't quite got around to it yet. I think the idea of putting another 150 hours into a character is a little daunting, but you know, I guess it's just one of those things you gotta do. Oh well, that lasted a long time. Okay, what we have to do now is, oh gosh, okay, get out of there, get out of there. Okay, we'll get our launcher. And let's get a freeze trap going. And let's see if we can do some damage. ideally I would like to clear out a lot of the forest, and then by the time I get closer to the dragon, somebody else will have joined in and make that whole experience a little less painful. I am thinking about doing a session of playing the offline campaign on hard mode just to beat it, so that way we can open up a couple of more levels in the game, so we don't always have to start off in the forest. So if you don't know, in order to open up levels online, you have to play the online quest first. So, you know, I've beat the normal mode, which means if we were to play online in normal, I could kind of jump into any part of the game. But unfortunately, that does not extend into other difficulty levels. So right now I'm playing on Ultimate. I think the reality of me ever beating Ultimate on my own is pretty slim, but people have done it, so I guess it's not impossible. But we'll see what happens. Let's start with the hard mode first. Okay, tagging those guys, and let's confuse them because we like to do that. Hopefully they'll just kind of wander around in circles for a little bit until we take them out. Okay, bang, bang, bang. So unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, I've been quite busy this week, but I've been playing Shenmue, which of course is an offline game, and showed off this little Bluetooth controller I picked up on one of the forums. Now, the guy that does the mods, you can contact him on eBay. He still does it. Basically, you pay for his service, you mail him a controller, and he'll do the Bluetooth modifications to it, which is great. But I managed to get one from a person on one of the forums for a little cheaper, which was kind of nice. And it makes all the world of difference when you're playing, because, I don't know, for me anyways, if you want to play the game, I gotta kind of take out all the controllers, and it's not the end of the world, it's just like, you know, there's something about unraveling controllers and stuff like that it's just enough of a pain in the ass that, you know, it can kind of deter you from playing a game. At least for me anyways, so I like to put all my stuff away after I'm done. I don't just kind of leave it out and pick it up, leave it out till the next time I pick up and play. But yeah, it's really kind of great just to throw a game in and pick up the controller, sit wherever you gotta sit, and just play. It seems kind of silly to explain given how long we've had Bluetooth controllers now, but yeah, it's one of the things with the Dreamcast that you really notice a difference. For more than 4 wireless controllers, or more than just 4 controllers in general? I know I have quite a few, but I don't always keep them all kind of in my setup. Okay, so we got that room there. We got this guy here. Maybe I missed a key somewhere. I have a sort of like a backup supply of controllers, because right before Dreamcast got hot and I started picking up a lot of stuff in bulk, I got a lot of great controllers. I probably have about I guess I probably have about 15 great controllers that I'm not using at the moment. And okay, so now I'm backtracking. So what happened here? Did I miss an enemy? Okay, that's what's going on. And I have a couple of colored variants. The most popular, I guess, or the most valuable, I should say, is the yellow variant, which I have yet to pick up, although I have seen it. I've seen actually somebody locally here in Canada trying to sell the yellow VMU with cap, yellow controller, and yellow Dreamcast. But I think they wanted something like, I don't know, $400 or $500 for it. And, you know, just for a variant of a console and a clear yellow casing and controller and everything, it didn't seem worth it to me. I do see the VMU and controller sell separately occasionally on eBay for, I don't know, about $100 a piece. And I don't know, that just seems like a bit much for a controller that doesn't really offer you much. It's just clear and yellow. That said, I guess people do buy them quite often because they tend to get bought up fairly quickly. But I guess if you're a collector and you're not concerned about that kind of stuff, price is kind of a moot issue. It can lead to other problems, I guess, because this is one thing I think about quite often, is the amount of people that buy all these very expensive games and very expensive peripherals, and just where their income streams are coming from. I'd hate to see people go into debt over this kind of stuff, you know, but I guess it happens. Suffice to say, I've been doing pretty well at staying in the black with game buying. I actually just picked up something on eBay because it just turned up in a buy it now. It was a fantastic price, and I wasn't going to pay any more than I paid for it because I don't even know if I can actually use it. One of those things. But it is coming from Japan, so who knows when it'll actually arrive. And it was a boxed, sealed copy of the DreamPi. So if you don't know what the DreamPi is a Dreamcast Japanese peripheral used for their sort of online chat service, video chat service actually. And you know, even though it was only intended to be used in Japan, you can use any peripheral, like peripherals are not region locked, so you can use it on the North American Dreamcast. That said, by the time it arrives, I think my USB GD-ROM will also be here, and then region locking will become a non-issue. So I am very curious to see what you can do with it. Like, even if you can just record video through the DreamPi, it'd be kind of interesting to see what that looks like. And I might actually bring it up in the Dreamcast Talk forums just to see if there are any plans to create a chat service with the DreamPi, because that would be kind of interesting with all us Dreamcast geeks to see if we can start communicating with each other just on Dreamcast. Because there are ways to... Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Oh shit. Because you can send private mail and everything like that through the Dreamcast. I don't imagine anybody's doing anything too nefarious, but that being said, I don't think anybody's really watching either what kind of internet traffic is going through your Dreamcast, so it might be an interesting way to communicate without raising too many red flags in the event you're talking about something that maybe you shouldn't. Maybe I've said too much. Come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No, we're not gonna return to Pioneer. I guess we're out of escape dolls, so we might as well. And the good news is, on the USB GD-ROM front, I did get in touch with Dr. Nemo, and he did say that unfortunately he can't do the lid switch modification, which is definitely not the end of the world. The lid switch modification is pretty easy to do, but I just figured rather than pull the switch off of my existing board, which is pretty good, maybe I can just have him modify it for me for a couple extra dollars and not have to worry about it. Because what I'm ultimately going to have to do is I'm going to have to desolder the switch from the board, and I'm going to have to attach it to the USB GD-ROM board. So that way, if you're playing games that are multiple discs, you can do the lid switch that way, instead of having to kind of like manually hold down a switch and swap out there, or not, I shouldn't say swap out the disc, because you're not going to be swapping out the discs, but tricking the Dreamcast into loading up the next file. So what I did was I ended up just ordering a replacement. Okay, come on, where are we going here? For $6, you know, it wasn't much at all. And what I'll probably end up doing is I'll oh, come on. Oh man, this camera is brutal. What I'll probably end up doing is I will I'll just wait, because I don't think I'll be playing too many games that are going to require disc swapping straight out of the gate. So I'll just wait until it arrives, and then I'll just solder on the replacement switch that I ordered. So it's not the end of the world. There's no rush. I do get a little impatient with these things sometimes, and when I do rush these projects, I end up regretting it later because I'll cut corners, but it hasn't happened to me lately. I've been being pretty good about that. The problem I always used to run into is that I wasn't using proper soldering techniques, and because of that, my little mods would work for a little while, and then what would end up happening is I get like a cold solder joint. That's what happened with the LED on my Sega Sports Dreamcast. I'm pretty sure it didn't burn out because it was pretty much new, and it's from a fairly reputable electronics store here in Toronto. But what I think ended up happening was I got a cold solder joint, so I'm gonna just have to open up that, pull it out, and just resolder it again. Not a big deal. Okay, let's freeze these guys just because, even though there's probably only like one shot left in them. They are starting to annoy me. There we go, perfect. Oh man, believe me, I am not a smart individual by any means, but I do manage to figure it out eventually. Computers and electronics were not my area of expertise. I've always been curious, and I just kind of follow forums and watch YouTube videos and occasionally screw up, but like any real gambler, I only talk about the wins. And a lot of these mods are fairly simple. I wouldn't be too worried about them, especially the ones that don't directly impact your Dreamcast. So say for instance you want to build a line voltage inducer, which seems to be intimidating to a lot of people. Ultimately, if you screw up on the line voltage inducer, the possibility of doing any real significant damage to your Dreamcast is pretty slim. If anything, it'll just not work, just because there's really not much of a voltage going through it. It's only 9 volts if you're here in North America, so that's not really going to do much damage, but it can cause a lot of frustration if you're building it and it's not working for whatever reason. And okay, let's just freeze these guys. And you're trying to troubleshoot and figure out what exactly is going wrong. You know, the one thing that generally seems to happen is people will build their line voltage inducer properly, but the Raspberry Pi is very finicky about which types of USB fax modems it'll accept. So what'll happen is you'll probably have a perfectly functioning line voltage inducer, but because your modem isn't being accepted by your DreamPi, you're doing all of this troubleshooting trying to get your line voltage inducer to work, but all the time it's just the fact that your Raspberry Pi isn't receiving a proper signal from your from your modem. Okay, I am going to kill these guys, and after we get a clear spot, I'm going to just do a quick search, choice search, and see if anybody else has recently joined. I'm also just going to quickly check the forums, see if anybody's out there as well. And then maybe boot back to Pioneer just to restock on a few supplies. Okay, come on, just die already. Okay, cool. Sweet. Oh, we got one left. Let's take him out. Let's use our heavy shot, see if that does anything. Not really. Let's just stick with our medium shot. And you are out of here. Perfect. Oh, come on. Alright, let's use a confuse trap. Double back. See if we can take these guys out. One of them is that not really rare because it comes up every time, but they'll do the call to the other guys, and then what'll end up happening is they end up getting a bit of extra tech on them. I don't know if it makes them more evasive or not, but something happens to them. Well, if the DreamPi, and you only want to play PSO, if the DreamPi is not something that you're terribly interested in investing in, you could always try your luck. It'll cost you a little bit more. Probably, you know, after you get your DreamPi kit and everything like that, probably end up costing you about 100 bucks more than the actual DreamPi kit. You could always get a broadband adapter. So that's what I'm playing on right now. I do have the DreamPi, of course, but I'm using the broadband adapter because it's just a little bit more stable. You don't get as much frame dropping. So I do like it better for games like Phantasy Star Online. I haven't tried it with Quake yet, although I probably should. But yeah, even playing PSO with the DreamPi, it's you notice very little difference. Like the big difference between the DreamPi gameplay online and the LAN adapter online, or broadband adapter I should say, is when you're playing multiplayer and you end up having, you know, 50 different enemies on screen with 4 other players, it gets a bit messy. Your Dreamcast can't handle it. But I'm pretty sure that's just the limitation of the machine, not necessarily the limitation or the product of the connection. Oh shit, you know what? We gotta go back to Pioneer anyways. Let's just do a quick choice search, see if we can find anybody else. Chat. Build card. Choice search. Any. No players, eh? Okay, well, maybe it's just quiet tonight. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so it looks like we might get somebody else here in PSO, but not for a little while. Looks like our man... What am I doing? Get out of here. Here we go. And let's get out all that mess. Looks like Bob might join in a little bit later, but he's just a little bit busy. Says he'll probably be free in an hour, so we'll see where he's at. Bob's always a good player to play with. I think he's about the same rank as I am at this point too. Okay, since we're just doing one-on-one, let's take this dude out. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. And maybe we'll see if we can snipe this guy a bit. Nope, he's hiding too much. There we go, you dummy. I don't think any of these guys can hit me. Oh, I spoke too soon. Yes, that is true. The broadband adapter does have very limited gameplay options at the moment, mostly because everybody's just trying to get the DreamPi to be sort of the new universal standard. Understanding that most people will not be getting a broadband adapter. Actually, not a lot of people know this, but a lot of the games on the Dreamcast were not made with the broadband adapter in mind. Only a few were optimized for it. So yeah, it's unless you're just gonna play one or two games, like if you're the only games you ever plan on playing are PSO and Quake, broadband adapter all the way. But if you are planning to play some of the other games live, definitely get a DreamPi setup. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Alright, let's go to the Techer and let's find out what we got here. Come on, big money. Really? What a terrible weapon. Might be good for somebody, but it's definitely not good for me. Hell no, I don't want to equip it. Cool, well, good luck with building the line voltage inducer. I do like to remind people that Dreamcast Live has some really awesome kits for very cheap. So if you want to save yourself a little bit of trouble, I highly endorse them. I'm actually using one myself. So. Yeah, it is pretty cheap. And the good thing is you don't even need to get like a Raspberry Pi 3B. You can get an old, cheaper Raspberry Pi model and you know, just have that as a dedicated DreamPi. Because the actual DreamPi OS itself is so tiny, it's not really drawing a lot of power from the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is just a convenient way to use it. So if you do have the option of just buying a Raspberry Pi, kind of suggest maybe buying one of the earlier models, like the Raspberry Pi 2. You can even get away with a Raspberry Pi 1 because it has Ethernet on it. The only problem I find with those nowadays is that if you want to do diagnostics, it's really kind of difficult because they only have the AV out. But they do work fine in terms of using being used for a DreamPi. Just that if you have something go wrong with your DreamPi, or say you're trying to find the IP number or something like that on your DreamPi, because you want to find the IP so you can DMZ it and you want to find out what the number is. Well, it's really convenient if you have the 3 or the 2, because you just plug out the HDMI and you're good to go. But if you are using one of the earlier models that only have the AV out, you're kind of stuck. That said, they can be pretty cheap nowadays, so it just depends on how much of a budget you're on, I suppose. Yep, just go to Dreamcast Live and go to their shop, and you know, PC Wizard's pretty good at keeping these orders tight. I think I received mine within a week from the US to Canada. And all it is you can buy the full kit, which is great. I don't think they're that expensive either. I think really the way he sets it up is he just wants to get more people online. Like, he's not necessarily there to make a ton of profit, which is sort of evident by, come on, get up, come on, okay, there we go, by how much he charges. Because I have seen other people in the past sell their DreamPi kits for quite a bit of money, like well over $100 plus shipping. But again, that was kind of more in the wild west days too, of this whole getting online thing, where people weren't aware of their options. So, you know, somebody had a DreamPi kit where it would come with everything you needed to get on, but you know, within a few months, then there would be sort of I shouldn't say optimized, because really it's the same way. It's just that you're reducing a bit of the clutter. I kind of graduated from just using the regular 9-volt battery line voltage inducer to using a 9-volt power brick to using, I did make a USB one, and at first I thought it screwed up my computer, but it actually turned out that I just had a virus. And then I made it again and it worked fine, and I was actually going to put up a video on how to make one. But then PC Wizard started selling his modems, which looked a bit nicer than the setup that I had created. So I just decided to change the link in my Dreamcast, how to get your Dreamcast online video, just saying, hey, just go to his store. Shit. Okay, good. Escape ball came in handy. Yeah, I did actually ordered the USB GD-ROM a little while ago, like maybe about a month ago, but it was with the 4-week lead time, so I knew it wasn't gonna be quick, which was fine by me. I'm in no rush. But then I wanted to get the lid switch, and I kept emailing the guy back and forth, and he was out of town. Then he finally said, I checked your order, I already shipped it. So I assume it's going to come in very soon. And I'm very excited to use that. I was actually tempted to start participating in a bid for a, what is it called? A GD-EMU, which is the one that uses the SD card. But from what I understand, it's a little bit inferior, and for some reason much more expensive. But everybody I've talked to online says both products are good. There's marginal differences between the two, pros and cons to both, I suppose. But ultimately, from the research I've done, the USB GD-ROM seems to be the way to go. Especially if there's a guy right now, he's got an Indiegogo. I should probably actually throw some money on it, because I haven't yet. And he is making a new power supply unit. Oh, that might be useful for somebody. Actually, it's not really useful for anybody. He's making a new power supply unit for the Dreamcast. Now, you might wonder why you need a new power supply unit. If you open up your Dreamcast, you notice that the PSU is really big and bulky. So some people have made different ones in the past that just make it a little bit smaller, and what that does is it creates less heat in your Dreamcast, which prevents your Dreamcast from, you know, like, let's say you overclock it. When you overclock your Dreamcast, sometimes that helps with certain games, making it run quicker, but it also generates more heat, a little bit more stress on the fan, and ultimately the more heat you have going in there, the more prone you are to getting having things break down, whether it's heat sinks breaking down or whether it's solder joints breaking down. Whatever, something breaks down eventually. So the less stuff you have going on in there, the better. But it also frees up enough space where if you get the USB GD-ROM, So the difference between the USB GD-ROM and the GD-EMU, which I like the most, is that the USB GD-ROM supports up to 2 terabytes of a 2 terabyte hard drive, which is great because you can basically fit every hack, every mod, every PAL exclusive, Japanese exclusive, NTSC game onto one hard drive, plug it in, forget about it. From what I understand, the GD-EMU supports a maximum of 32 gigabyte, which is great. That's plenty of space to throw quite a few games on. But if you could use the USB GD-ROM and just plug in a hard drive, you can kind of have it sitting around the lid, and it would probably rattle around there and be fine. But it's not ideal, you know, because you're going to take it around and you're going to have to unplug it and all that kind of stuff. Ideally, you'd want something you can just sort of set and forget. So the one cool thing about this new PSU is it gives you a lot more free space, and you could actually kind of tuck just a regular SSD in there with all of your games, and you'd never know. You can get every game you've ever wanted, and you might even be able to kind of switch it out if you put like an adapter or something like that on that, so you don't have to take it out if you were putting on new games. I haven't thought that far ahead, but it is a real advantage, especially if you're going to be modding your Dreamcast with a oh, let's get out of here, with one of those boards. You probably don't need it if you're just modding it with the GD-EMU, because really you're just going to be using the flash cards anyway. It's not a big deal. But the other cool thing is, and cool is going to be my pun for this evening, is that if you go online, there's 3 versions of the North American Dreamcast you get. There's the Model 0, 1, and 2. So most people use the Model 1. Most people. It's the one that is probably the most common. It was released shortly after launch. It plays all the mill CDs, so that way you can play CDRs and stuff like that, and it works great. Model 2, same basic design. The only difference is that you can't really play mill CDs on it, so you can only play actual Dreamcast games. Again, fine little machine. But the Model 0 had a very unique cooling unit in it. It actually had like a liquid cooled heatsink on it, so it had all these tubes that had some sort of cooling, I guess some sort of cooling fluid. I don't know if it was Freon or something, and the fan would blow around, and yeah, it would cool down your Dreamcast. The only problem is that you need to get power to it. So let's say you want to install one of those in your Model 1. You can buy the Model 0 cooling units for about, I don't know, $30. You can power it up with an external separate power supply, which look kind of ugly. You can try and rig something up where, you know, maybe you've got a step-up inducer off the main power board, which could work, but then you risk a couple of things. I guess the big risk would be just kind of like overheating and not making it worth your while. Or if you use this new power unit, ideally you can just plug it right into there and put in a Model 0 cooling unit into a Model 1 machine, which is what I may do actually. Because I think by the end of the year, I'm going to try and have one of the most optimized Dreamcast units out there. So what my plan is to have just a regular NTSC Model 1 Dreamcast. I'm going to have it running the USB GD-ROM. I'm going to be using the Bluetooth wireless controller. I'm going to be using my HDMI Akura box. I'm going to have a swapped out power supply. I'm going to have a lightly modded controller port with a blue LED and a coin battery holder installed. And at that point, really the only thing unique, or I should say original to it, is probably going to be the main board. All this is very doable and probably going to happen, actually. Oh, is the stream cutting in and out? Okay, good to know. You know what? I'm going to actually fix that right now. Thanks for letting me know. Nobody else brought that to my attention. I did crank up the bit rate when I was playing around in some of the settings. So let me see if I can adjust that right now. So let's adjust it to this. Apply. Okay. Alright, let me know if that's any smoother. Okay, so now I dropped it down to, sorry, I was playing around with a couple of different settings earlier this afternoon. Generally I set it at 4,000, and I wasn't quite sure if that was... I cranked it up to 8,000 just to see what it would look like if I was just recording. I didn't notice much of a difference, to be honest. I think it's just the limitations of the OBS software. But then I just dropped it down to 2,500. So hopefully that's a little bit smoother. It might be a bit pixelated, but it should be a bit smoother. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's running a bit nicer. So quick question, because I can't really see what's going on everybody else's end. Was it just the picture that was cutting out, or was it everything cutting out? Alright, you know, maybe I'll drop it right down to 2,000 then. We'll see what happens. I guess it's because... oh, hey, what do we got? Oh, it's a melee weapon. I don't think I'm going to use it. Everything was cutting out, eh? Okay, well that's good to know. Alright, let's go to settings. And stream output. Let's drop that down to just 2,000. Apply. Okay, cool. So I dropped the stream down to 2,000. So hopefully that'll be a bit smoother for everybody. I guess it's kind of deceiving because on my end it all looks pretty smooth, so I can't really tell if it's chopping or not. Then I think what happens is when YouTube renders it, it seems to... I guess what they do is they keep the file on their server and they're uploading it, but the recorded version is not, or sorry, not recording it, streaming it, but the file that they're downloading to their server is, I guess, more of the raw file. Don't quote me on it. Okay, so everything was cutting out. Okay, well that's good to know. Because there's not a whole lot of action happening tonight, but tomorrow around 5:36 should be the good night. Alright, sweet. Good to know. It is perfect now. Okay. To celebrate, we're going to go and launch our mag. Alright, looks like 2,000 is the sweet spot. And I died. Alright, well, I guess I have no choice. Pioneer it is. That is the one thing I like about OBS, is you can do all these changes on the fly. I know that when I was trying to stream with just the Elgato software. It's such a beast of a program that it wouldn't matter what I put the settings to, it would constantly chop, it would constantly cut the stream, it would constantly cut out. At least with OBS, even though it's choppy, it's still keeping a fairly steady stream, so that's good to know. Okay, so let's go back to the forest, and I guess we're gonna see if we can sneak those weapons out. Gotta grab the Masetta, gotta stock up with supplies. Should probably actually... Okay, so where did we go? We went through this way. Yeah, man, you can play whenever you want. I'm generally on the weekends and Wednesdays, but Wednesdays lately I've been playing mostly whatever the official game night game is. Okay, where's all my shit? Ugh. Okay. Launch that. Okay, cool. Created enough of a distraction. And let's launch our damage traps. And our damage traps. And our damage traps. And our damage traps. And a confuse trap. Why not? Let's have some fun. And let's just trap these guys. Boom. Come on, get up, get up, get up. Oh no, this is not good. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, sweet, we got him. $5 a.m. in Sweden. Okay, well, that would mean, so let's say we jump ahead to what would be optimum in Sweden. Let's even say 12 hours from now. Probably won't be playing 10 in the morning, but you never know. If I can sneak some time to myself and not have the demands of the world barreling down on me, that could be a possibility. No, I'm probably not going to do Blue Burst. I do like I like this game. I like Phantasy Star Online, but I think what I enjoy the most about what I'm doing now, playing the game, even though I know like Blue Burst is probably the better game to play. Just more monsters, more items, more quests, all that kind of stuff. Something about playing it on official Dreamcast hardware and putting up with all the bugs and stuff like that, with getting it to stream properly and record properly and getting nice video out of it. I don't know, I kind of like that whole process. So even though I think the game would be probably better, for me I don't know if it would be as much fun. So I kind of enjoy the headache of trying to get this to run properly. Yeah, that would be ideal. If anybody else actually is interested, join a Facebook group called PSO Silverant. There's only a handful of users, but it is the group that you want to go to if you want to announce that you're, going online and you want to find a couple of different people to play with. It's the best way to get everybody's attention. Okay, let's launch a confuse trap again. Okay, you guys can just beat the snot out of each other for a little while. Come on, just die already. Yeah, I know they fixed a lot of the bugs and everything like that. For me, I don't know. I did the same thing. I think there's been a couple of people that have watched these streams that have looked at some of the other videos that I have on my channel, and there's a lot of stuff on some music projects that I've worked on, and pretty intense electronic music rigs, and a lot of it is pretty old equipment, like from the late 90s, way back until the early 80s. And you know, I like that kind of sound. It didn't really have anything too fantastic in my rig. You've got to be kidding me. Oh sweet, I didn't die. But a lot of really cool gear, and a lot of it was communicating over MIDI, and a lot of the equipment that I was using didn't have a whole lot of RAM or anything to draw from, so you know, a lot of it was crashing all the time, and there's a lot of wires everywhere, and a lot of very heavy pieces of equipment that could easily have been condensed down into something smaller, like a laptop with a virtual instrument and playing it that way. But I just like the big messy rigs with wires and flashing lights everywhere. And I guess the same applies to what I've been doing with the Dreamcast stuff too. So it might not be ideal in terms of playing the game, but for the purposes of what I'm doing online, I enjoy it. Hello to everybody new that's watching the stream. You came in at a good time because I had the bitrate cranked up way too high, so it wasn't streaming very nicely. Seems to be working a little bit better now. Okay, what are we gonna get? Ancient Saber. Oh wow. Looks like a pretty serious weapon, but I can't equip it. Huh, let's just take a look at that. I'll probably give it to somebody else, but... Oh wow, 40% attack on dark. Interesting. Okay, well I'll save that for somebody else that can use it, but that looks like a pretty cool weapon. Okay, sell. Get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. Can't really... What level? ATA... Yeah, it's kind of useless. Wouldn't even give that to somebody first starting out. Okay, buy... Diamate. Yes. And I don't think we really need a mono grinder. We've got tons of those. Alright, let's dip back to the forest. I'm just going to put a quick shout out to some of the other people that said they might jump on later. See if they're still available. So, okay, it looks like Bob is still going to join, but he's still out and about. Okay, 1 second here. I just got a message. Okay, cool. Yes, so tomorrow is the official PSO game night. So anybody that wants to jump in, I highly suggest playing in on Saturday night. Generally, people start around 5:30, and it lasts till about, well, kind of lasts till they last. Like, I mean, I've been on there till 2 in the morning some nights, but I'm generally part of that crew that jumps in a little bit later as well. Fortunately, tomorrow, that does not necessarily have to be the case. Okay, should I wait for these guys to jump up? No, we're gonna just take out the Mama Rappy. Damn. Well, you gotta make your money, right? That's why we work. You're at work now. What are you doing watching YouTube? Should be working. Come on, man. People are dependent on you. I'm just kidding. I've worked quite a few jobs where I've kind of spent a lot of time on YouTube. Actually, it's funny because I used to work way back in the day, before YouTube was even really a thing. This was when, I guess this was probably, like, when did YouTube come out? Come in its infancy around 2005 or so, because I can remember just kind of jumping in and watching it, and watching random videos, like really short clips of stuff, and not really thinking much about it, because at the time the sort of norm was to go to different sort of video hosting sites where the video was embedded right into the website, or they had links to other sort of streaming sources. So I think that was right when DivX Stage 6 came out, and there was quite a few different websites. I can't even remember the names of them now, and you could stream stuff through DivX Stage 6, and the resolution was fantastic for streaming, and you could watch full series of television shows. I can remember working overnights at a group home at the time, and all you do is you just kind of sit there, and the kids would be asleep, and you do room checks and stuff like that every once in a while, but more often than not you weren't doing a whole heck of anything. So yeah, it's kind of when I discovered these different kind of video hosting sites, and yeah, I could remember just like within a week busting through seasons. Like I think Heroes first came out around then, and the first season of Heroes was pretty cool. Then obviously it kind of fell apart, but yeah, it was quite a fantastic time. Before that, I think the big, what was that one of those sites? I think it was called steakandcheese.com, and that was like a big hosting site. But what you would have to do is you would download these video clips. You couldn't even stream, you could just download them directly to your computer, and you didn't know what they were because they wouldn't have thumbnails or anything, and you just kind of hope they were interesting based on the title, and yeah, you just watch them right off your computer. iFilm, that used to be a big site too back in like really early 2000s, if I remember correctly. Again, same sort of idea. You would download these video clips right to your computer, and you just hope that they were worth watching. And sometimes they were brutal, like there's all sorts of nasty stuff floating around, as I'm sure there is now, but I just have no interest in it. And yeah, sometimes you get sort of suckered into watching something that maybe you didn't want to watch. And I think around 2005 too, there was also a website. What was it called? It was called, I think, Spike TV or Spike Nation or something like that. And again, that would embed its own video clips, and you would just directly stream those from whatever your, whatever your internet browser that you're using was. I can remember back in the 90s when it was the real Wild West of the internet. If you wanted video clips on, you had to compress it to like a ridiculous resolution. I think 60 by 60, because everything was still full frame back then. Nobody was really doing anything in widescreen, and if they were, it was like a matted widescreen, so it would be, because all monitors were all 4:3. So you'd have a 4:3 mat, and then you put widescreen video over top of it. So it was a pseudo widescreen. It wasn't anamorphic or anything like that. But anyways, you'd make these video clips that were like 60 by 60 frames, and you'd embed them directly into your web page, and it would just gobble up the bandwidth. It was horrible. But that's just kind of what you did, and you would have like generally have no more than, I don't know, like 15 seconds at a time of video, and you could barely see what was going on, because on top of the file size being quite small, the colors were also quite limited as well. And I think a lot of people were using, what would have been the standard back then? Was it MPEG? I don't think a lot of people were using QuickTime. I think QuickTime was kind of for people that had like I don't know, the Cadillac of internet service. Maybe they had 56K, I don't know. But I think most people are using MPEG embed, because I think QuickTime was one of those players that didn't embed well at the time with most internet browsers. And also, you know, most people weren't using Chrome or anything back then because that didn't exist. It was like you're using like Netscape or some nonsense like that. So anyways, where was I going with this? Yes, internet, video, all this kind of fun stuff. I think I remember trying to actually start up a couple of pages that were mostly video based. Back in a time where that wasn't necessarily practical. And of course they failed miserably, otherwise I probably would be, you know, doing that. Yeah, it was just so hard and it took so much time, and even to embed video, embedding video wasn't hard, but rendering it was next to impossible. There was a couple of freeware programs that you could use, and you could use other software as well, but it wasn't very user-friendly. I think Vegas came out around 2001 maybe. Can't remember exactly, because I know I was using Acid back in the late 90s. Acid Pro and SoundForge. So I can't exactly remember when that came out, but nobody was really using that for real-time video editing. I think I was using maybe like Corel Suite or something. Something that definitely doesn't exist anymore. Actually, I think a lot of people, myself included, I started uploading a lot of stuff to places like Dailymotion, and you know, obviously that stuff doesn't exist anymore. Kind of makes me wonder if like any of that stuff was saved to archive.org, because there's a lot of content on there that if you didn't back it up, it's gone for good now. Dailymotion doesn't exist. So there's a lot, like you know how archive.org backed up places like GeoCities back in the day. I guess places like Dailymotion are probably a bit more cumbersome to have the backup of, but I would kind of hope that some of that material is floating around somewhere. There were a couple of cool little channels that I can remember watching. Actually, places like Dailymotion were pretty good for people that wanted to do like higher end streaming of things like short films. So I can remember watching quite a bit of those too. Actually, I get most of my links through Spiked Nation. Actually, that was kind of around the, not before, but sort of around the time that I was splitting my time between YouTube and still stuck in the older time of going to these video hosting sites. And I think that's actually how I stumbled upon Angry Video Game Nerd, if I remember correctly. Just somebody posted a link to one of these, I think the website, they managed to get a hyperlink to the video or something, and posted on one of these hosting sites, and you know, I think that's how a lot of people got in touch with that kind of stuff back in the day, well before the live stream, and back in the day of the 10-minute retro whatever reviewer. Oh shit. There's a lot, like there's a lot of bad content on the internet now, but holy smokes was there for a lot of bad content on around 2007. A lot of interesting stuff, like there's some stuff that isn't around anymore, but just a few people that are trying a little bit too hard to be relevant back in the day. I can't believe it's 10 years ago now, 2007. Holy smokes. Come on, die, you mantis. Good. Oh shit, what is zapping me? Alright. And of course I died. Alright, well, I guess back to Pioneer it is. Let's see if our man Bob is going to jump in. Looks like he's still out and about. So the one thing I do like about going back to video editing and all that fun stuff, one thing I do like about OBS is that you take different information from different sources. So like right now in this video stream, I've got the webcam going, I've got the game capture going, and I've got a link to the chat going. But they color correct everything, which is kind of nice. So you don't have to worry about different color palettes, different shades and hues and stuff like that. For each different video, everything kind of looks like it belongs all in one frame. I really enjoy that. But one thing I realized I needed to do was brighten it up a little bit. So what I ended up doing was just putting a lamp right here. So you might see a little bit of a gloss off of my head. And I kind of made, like, this is an old trick I learned from doing some basic film, made a cheap little gel. So like a film gel is something that you put on a light in order to dispel the light so you don't get shadows. So rather than using a legit gel, which actually probably wouldn't be too hard for me to access, you just put a piece of white paper across it. It works just as well. That's all I've got really going at the moment. Okay, let's see if we can take this guy out before he causes me too much problems. Well, he's being a dummy and not doing anything, but that works for me. Nice. Okay. Let's grab my gear before it goes walking. Sweet. Okay, did we get anything good? Well, we can always use some Dimate. Why not? Let's equip our launcher. Oh, you know what I should have done is... Oh, shoot. I should have gone back. Oh, okay. I don't have to do that. Sweet. I was going to say I should have replenished my chaps, but I forgot that I died. And I don't have to worry about that. Alright. What would be really nice is if I found some sort of cool rare weapon or something. It's been a long time since I found something worth keeping in this game. Okay, let's just freeze these guys. And see if we can take them out before they cause us too much grief. Boom, boom, boom. The one thing I haven't done lately, since it's kind of hard to get feedback on some of the other videos I was posting because I wasn't doing them live, is some pickup stuff, because pickups are always kind of fun. I have been doing quite a bit of thrifting lately and picked up some pretty interesting items, but I guess just because of the nature of the live stream, I get caught up responding to chats and stuff like that I don't really take the opportunity to show what I've been getting recently. And with the new Logitech webcam, I also noticed that the bit... Oh shit, these guys are going to cause me nothing but grief. It's a bit more difficult to get a wider angle that's practical. So... Oh shit. Come on, heal, heal. Okay, boom. Okay, we nailed them. Oh shit, this is gonna be difficult. Hey, we got somebody joining in. Sweet. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Yukina. I don't know who that person is. Is that Bob? Maybe it is. Sweet. Well, folks, it may have taken an hour, but we have a second player in our online game. Confuse trap and get out of here. Fuck. Okay, why am I stuck? Okay, let's drop a pipe. Yeah, let's just get out of here and chit-chat with our friend for a second. Ha! Alright, let's put this to the side. Cool. Hey, hey. I'll drop a pipe. Item pack. Item. And telepipe. Use. So that is always the courteous thing to do when you've got a new player that joins in. Is drop a telepipe. So that way they can jump in right to your game. There we go. Sweet. Elf arm. Nope, we're not going to use that. I think I need to stock up on supplies. BRB. Okay, cool. So let's go back to Pioneer. Let's buy some more trimates, dimates, and get this game started. So Yukina, who is that again? I know we've played in the past. Thank goodness they're not a droid. I'll get rid of this thing. I'm gonna give that saber to somebody, I just don't know who. Okay, definitely get these, definitely get these, definitely get that. Cool. And let's get out of here. Sweet. Alright, let's go back to clinic, replenish all our traps. My hope is that this is going to be a longer session without needing to stock up too much. Alright, and we're good to go. Back to the forest. Okay, so before we go back to the forest, actually, we'll go back to the forest. Before we get started, I gotta show you guys one thing, because, like I said, I haven't done pickups in forever, but this thing was pretty cool. Okay, so say what you will about the company. They've released a new product, and it's been universally panned as garbage. I'm back. At Games, they released this new Sega Genesis console. I bought their first one. It wasn't bad. It was compatible with a lot of games, but it kind of was suffering from only being AV out, which was AV composite to mono. I imagine some genius out there has figured out a way to mod it where you can get a full HD video out, or maybe even, like, I don't know, some sort of upscaled resolution. But anyways, oh sweet, Yukina is going to make this so much easier. But anyways, their new console, which was supposed to be the alleged competitor to the SNES Classic was this new new sort of flashback system that would play Sega Genesis carts, although not all of them was compatible with quite a few from what I understand. And it had a couple of games built onto it, and I think it was 80 games that it comes with, but half of the 80 games were just crappy little freeware games anyway, so it didn't really matter. Anyways, I bought the first one for like 20 bucks off of somebody, ended up trading it for a whole ton of really good Game Boy games. But they did release a couple of portables which were interesting, and the good thing about the portables is, yeah, okay, the sound does suffer a little bit, but because the speaker's so small and it's not booming through like a big stereo system or anything like that, you don't really notice it that much. And I was out thrifting today and I found a couple of really cool like movies and things, and no games unfortunately. Stream seems slightly choppy again. Okay, that's good to know. Not 100% sure why it'd be choppy. Maybe I should prioritize the OBS. I'll do that in 1 second. Okay, let's take this guy out. Okay, and I'm going to Control-Alt-Delete, Task Manager, OBS, set priority above normal, change, yes. So hopefully that is a bit smoother for everybody. I can't promise anything, but kind of the best I can do. So what did I find? So I was out there thrifting, found a couple of cool movies and things, and I saw this for $3. And it is the Sega Genesis Ultimate Portable Game System from At Games. So what it is, it's a little handheld system like this, and you just fire it up like so. And yeah, it comes preloaded with a whole bunch of Sega Genesis games. It's actually pretty cool. And it has a little SD card slot on the top where you can dump in your other ROMs. And from what I understand, you can make it into a full-fledged emulator system if you really wanted to. But I haven't gotten there. I just got it today, but I will say that I am pretty impressed with the game selection it has on it. And the games all seem to run pretty well. I do notice the sound is still pretty shit, but since it's on such a small speaker and you have to turn down a bit, you don't really notice that much. It's just that whatever emulator they're using, the sound emulation isn't that great. Somebody mentioned that Streets of Rage isn't on the new Sega At Games console, or At Games console. I shouldn't say it's not sponsored by Sega, they just license the games. Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 is on the handheld, which is kind of cool. As far as I know, you can't save, which is kind of disappointing, because what I'd really like to do is pick up a game like the original Phantasy Star, Phantasy Star 2, I guess, and start playing that, or even some of the other RPGs, which would be great on this little handheld console. So I don't know, we'll give it a shot. It does look nice. It feels pretty good in the hand. It's pretty convenient, that's for sure. As far as a pick up and play game or console goes, it's fine. And like I said, it only cost me $3, so it's pretty nice. Sweet. So, are we gonna find any goodies, or is it all just garbage? So far, nothing really too fun. Flowing Sword, 2000 Masetta. Anything good here? Star Atomizers are always useful. Nope, don't need that. Alright. Diamate, yep. Oh, that's right, I already stocked up. We don't need it anymore. Okay, well, I think we're pretty much good for here, so let's dip back to Pioneer and see what Yukina wants to do next. Back to Pioneer 2. Yeah, the other option is, for me anyways, I've got my R4 card and a pretty decent Genesis emulator on there. Not a Master System emulator, unfortunately, which is what I'd like to play the original Phantasy Star game. But, you know, a pretty decent Genesis emulator. And I was thinking about starting up a quest for Phantasy Star 2. Let's just talk to Yukina for a second. Good game. What would you like to play next? Quest, or see if anyone else jumps in? Yeah, so this little At Games handheld console comes with, actually I can probably just scroll through the games right now. So it's got the flash. The screen actually looks pretty nice. So let's see if I can get that in the camera where you can actually see. But you know, it's got all your basic beat 'em ups. Yeah, I don't think anybody else is going to jump in either. So that's pretty cool. But then after you get to like page 4, it starts going into like the shittier sort of, I shouldn't even call them homebrews, but just like the cheap sort of flash games. Okay. Let's see what we got. Alright, so let's see what we can do here in terms of a quest. Okay, wait for all of our party members. Okay, so let's do Lost Heat Sword for easy run. Okay, let's do that one. Cool. Okay, so it looks like the stream is a little bit choppy again, so just let me know if it's cutting in and out. I did set the priority on OBS to a bit high, so that might be counterintuitive. Actually, let's just bring it back here, set it back to normal. So I did notice it was trying to refresh. Set priority. Let's just put it back to normal. Okay, because I'm not sure if OBS being set at high priority is going to make Elgato run choppy. So we'll find out. Okay, can you please help me? Please! I almost killed a dragon. But... my heat sword! My dad gave heat sword to me! It's really important to me. I don't know how it was taken from me. I cannot do my job without it. Please get it back for me. Alright, buddy. No problem. We'll help you out. Alright, let's find out if there's any side quests in this first. I'm going to ask my partner. Are there any side quests in this? Because if there are, maybe we'll... Where is Yukina? Insanity. Ah, okay. But you're not ready for that. No, I am definitely not. Okay. Let's find out if there's still a Pioneer or not. Are you still at Pioneer? In forest. Okay, cool. So let's find our partner. PC fast load. DC slow load, and everything else. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Nice. Okay, there is a very real possibility, if everything keeps up the way it's going, that we might get a level up. Let's just hope for the best. We definitely have played with Yukina in the past. Sweet, I got a level up. Nice. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so we launched a damage trap, so at least we know that we'll get the XP for those guys. Okay, anything here that we can use? Oh, power material. Sweet. Item, power material. Use. Thank you. My goodness. Okay. Let's see if we can tag these guys. Boom, boom, boom. I think Yukina was waiting for me just to tag. They're very generous people. And let's back up and get a bit more distance. I hate to hide behind my partner here, but it's kind of been my strategy ever since I started playing this game. Okay. Force support to make everything on all easy. Okay, I don't know if I can do that or not, but definitely take it into consideration. Okay, boom. Let's tag these guys. Alright, looks like we got everything. Okay, let's follow Yukina. Tri-grinder, sweet! Okay, tag. Now that we got a bit more power too, are we going to notice any difference in our attack? I mean, it's only one, but hey, every little bit of power counts. Plus we got a level up too, so that's got to count for something. Okay, tag. Got it. We can always use more Masetta. Okay, anything here that we can use? Mono grinder? Not really. Trap vision? Definitely not. Okay, where's Yukina going? Oh, I guess we open those up and get some special goodies. Okay, well, let's see if we can tag all these guys. Oh, we missed those two. Damn. Okay. Tag these guys. Looks like Yukina is gonna probably do the majority of the heavy lifting here, which is totally fine. Alright, bang. can't remember what this level is. Actually, I think this is just a regular, pretty much just a regular forest run for the most part, if I remember correctly. A few extra monsters, but basically the quest is a forest run. And then you beat the dragon, and then after you beat the dragon, you get the heat sword. And I guess the one thing that we'll get, they'll be of some uses, we'll get a couple of photon points, because I think what I gotta do sometime soon is upgrade a few of my weapons. I think my launcher I upgraded recently, but my Yasminkov I gotta upgrade so that way it takes out more enemies, like specialized enemies with specialized attacks. That little trick that I was shown by, I can't remember who showed me that actually. Was it Kuroheim? Where you go to one of the levels and then you can use your photon points to like basically upgrade one of your weapon to have 30% extra attack on 3 separate special areas. Oh man, you know what? I've never done Wii Online, but I'm starting to regret selling a lot of my GameCube stuff, because I realized recently that I could probably just get a cheap Wii and play it that way, and then mod the Wii to just play, you know, other emulators and stuff like that. But you know, just wasn't thinking far enough ahead. And I don't know if anybody has seen the latest Metal Jesus Rocks video, but this dude has developed an adapter that looks pretty sweet for your original GameCube to get really high quality 480p signal over HDMI. So I was watching some of the video clips from it recently, and it looks beautiful. So there are a couple of games that I've always been kind of curious about on GameCube that I never got around to. But I think I'm going to also wait till this Dreamcast thing gets some more reviews, and then from what I understand, the Dreamcast can play N64 and GameCube, and up to, I think, PS2 emulation fairly stable. So that might be a good investment in the future. But anyways, yeah, the video that he was showing just looks fantastic. Sweet. But the only downside, I guess, for more people is that, for most people rather, is that the GameCube HDMI adapter, even though it's small, it's only like yay big, and it costs about $100 because it's all basically made as per order. So I have a feeling even for $100 that's not that bad when you consider buying the component cables to set you back. Gee, I see some people spending up to $400 on them, but that was Canadian. So I don't know if that comes to an American. Depends on the time, I suppose. But let's just say, for sake of argument, about $100 or about $250 to $300 American for component cables. So if you're willing to spend that kind of money on component, $100 for HDMI with sound seems like the wiser investment. So I do have a GameCube, which I don't have hooked up, and I've got a couple of games with it. Nothing really too special because I've sold all my higher end games, but I've got like Super Smash Bros. Melee, which I'm not a huge fan of the Smash franchise, but could be fun. Yeah, I did hear that there is quite a big DS online community, but I haven't really, other than Mario Kart 7, I'd never really played a lot of my 3DS online. I played a little bit of Heroes of Ruin, but that's a terrible game and I just wanted to get through it. I did hook up my copy of Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds for Street Pass, so who knows, maybe I'll end up using that. Oh geez, okay, well I can't even attack those guys. Oh, I'll just let my partner here take him out. I guess really the only game I probably play on DS online is maybe the Mario Kart DS. Oh shoot, I should have donated or something. But can't remember what other good online games are for DS. I'd mostly just stick to RPGs on that particular system, so. Come on, there you go, sweet. Okay, any goodies here that I can use? Pitiful damage. Yep, that's me. Pitiful damage, that's what they call me. Alright, well, let's see if we can bust through this level, get our reward, because we're actually pretty much there. Sweet, we got some hit material. Yeah, playing Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS is fantastic. Speaking of which, I watched a review recently actually on the new 2DS, and I was thinking about getting that at some point. Just because it looked like a neat little system to have, and I do have pretty much all the variants of the DS other than the original DS because it's just an ugly looking thing. So no need for that, and you can generally find them anywhere for pretty much next to nothing. I'll probably get one at some point, but not like I'm definitely not going to spend any money on it. It's got to be given to me for free. But yeah, Mario Kart 7 is a really fun game to play, especially if you've made it through the entire game and you can make your own characters, stuff like that, with your customized like you can put your own image on it and stuff like that. That's kind of a cool, nice little extra touch. Your me or something like that. Yeah, it's funny because I remember I just got my first DS probably about a month or two before the online services all went down with like the store and everything like that and all the support they had for it. Like it just gone down and I was so disappointed. I think you can get a Wi-Fi adapter that'll connect to your PC that you can do some online gaming with or something like that. I haven't really looked into it too thoroughly. But I guess the same applies for my PS2. I didn't realize you could play Final Fantasy 11 up until like what, last year on your PS2 without any modding. But a couple of people here have commented that you can still get online with a couple of games like Call of Duty and things like that for PS2, which I might do just for fun. But the Call of Duty games were never really my favorite. They're okay, but never really got into them. I think it was because it kind of came out around a time where there's quite a few FPSs coming out, and kind of got stuck with the classics that I really liked. Like for some reason, I can always go back to Delta Force Land Warrior and have a great time in a solo campaign. I think it's because it's like really strategic. It's not much like the original Call of Duty games. Not a run and gun type style game. You know, you gotta really plan your shot and weapon and kind of calculate everything you do very strategically, which I enjoy. But you know, despite the fact it kind of looks like shit nowadays, it's still a lot of fun. Time Splitters. Yeah, that's a game that I'm really curious about visiting at some point. I've seen a couple of copies floating around, but they're all beat up. But that's a franchise I've always been really curious about. Okay, let's just launch a damage trap and hopefully we connect with something. Fuse trap, why not? Bang, we nailed them all. There you go, fight amongst yourselves, children. It's kind of one reason that the Switch seems really appealing to me, is that if their virtual console plays out like they say it's going to play out, and you can play all those old classic SNES and NES games over the internet with a friend, that alone would make getting a Switch worth it to me. Just to play a game like, I don't know, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game or something like that, with a friend online, I think that would be a lot of fun instead of having to do couch co-op, which, you know, is a lot of fun as well, but fortunately us old people don't get to hang out at each other's house and play video games the way we used to. Oh shoot, I should have probably donated that or something. Okay, here we go. Bang, bang, bang. Let's freeze them. Cool. Alright, we took them out. Yeah, I remember playing Mario Kart Wii quite a bit actually at my friend's place when it first came out. There was quite a few games that came out for Wii, I think, that just really threw me off, because other than Wii Sports, what games did I buy? I remember buying Legend of Zelda. I think I remember buying, I don't know, just a couple of games that didn't really work with the Wii controllers, and of course you can buy the Pro controllers and stuff like that, which were ideal for a lot of games, but back when the system first came out, those weren't really accessible. You were, especially back in like 2007, I think it was, when the Wii first came out. You were lucky to even get a console, more or less getting a Pro controller. So playing some of those games that were more optimized for the Pro controller weren't as much fun as I think they probably could have been if we had the proper peripherals at the time. But I can remember trying to play whatever Zelda game came out back in 2007. I can't remember which one it would have been. It was just a chore. I did hear about that actually. Never got into Xbox, but it does sound rather interesting. There's always been a ton of games on Xbox that I wanted to play, but just never really got around to. And some of the games that I wanted to play on Xbox, you know, obviously being Microsoft and me being a PC person, it, you know, like I played Halo and stuff on PC, so I don't think I was really missing much by not having an Xbox. Okay, I think my partner, Yukina, may be away from keyboard. Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to get into one system, two systems actually, PS2 and original Xbox, if you're planning on collecting for a random system on the cheap, those are the two systems to go for, because even the higher end games for those systems, they don't cost a fortune. There's probably a few that would cost you a pretty penny, but for the most part you can get everything for fairly cheap. I think the most expensive Xbox game I ever got was, and I only found it for $2 or $3, was oh shit, was Shenmue 2. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Come on, heal up. There we go. Come on, heal up. Boom. Oh shit, we gotta get out of here quick. Come on, get out of here, get out of here, heal up, get out of here. God, launch that damage trap. Okay, get this out here. Launch this confuse trap. Oh, it looks like Yukina left. Oh, okay, well they clearly lost interest in playing with me. That's okay. Maybe we can find somebody else. Okay. Shit. Okay, we'll launch a freeze trap. Oh, thank God. Well, this kind of sucks because I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this quest on my own. Alright, well, maybe what we'll do then, let's take these guys out. I'm going to do a quick choice search to see if there's anybody else playing. And then we might have to dip back. Come on, heal up, heal up, heal up. And after we do a quick choice search to see if we can find anybody else, maybe what we'll do is see if anybody else is on any other ships. There's a possibility that people are just on Vega or Altamira or something. So let's use our... First things first, use that. And use that. Alright, sweet. Let's go back to Pioneer. And let's see what this weapon is. I have a feeling it's not going to be anything of any value. Come on, big money. What do we got? Oh, bullshit. Nope. No, thank you. Okay. Buy. Yes, please. Yes, please. Nope. Sell. Yes. And we're good. Thank you. Well, if you're first starting off, your character is between levels 0 and 20. You're only going to be able to play normal. Then 20 to 40 is hard. 40 to 80 is very hard. And then 80 plus is ultimate. So those are your options. That being said, if you're just starting off with level 0 character, I can totally... I'm going to have to quit this game. Shit. Alright. I can probably get you to level 20 in a single evening, maybe like an hour and a half or so. I'll just follow behind and give you a couple of good weapons and good armor, and you know, you just tag things and I'll kill them so that way you can get all the XP. That's probably the best way to start off if you're just starting off your character. Organize. Nobody's there. Okay. Transport. Change ship. Anybody here? No. Oh, there's somebody on Vega. Let's check out what's going on there. Cool. Organize. Join team. Yeah, let's try it. Why not? 3 other players. This could be fun. So you're at level 3. Yeah, we could probably get you up to at least level 15 in a few quests. 2 hours, we could probably get you to level 20. And then on hard, that's typically where the game gets a little bit more fun. Oh, cool. Hey, everybody. Yeah, man, totally get a Dreamcast. They're only getting more expensive, I tell ya. Green pipe. Alright, sounds good. Wow, my Dreamcast is just choking. Well, we're not playing Ultimate, but that's okay. I think playing on very hard is just as fun. We probably want to get 50 cal. So Sega One Dream can definitely play on Ultimate. 50 cal, we got to boost up a little bit before they can join us. What I would suggest if you want to get a cheap Dreamcast with a bunch of really cool games for it is you can do a couple of different things. You can just wait on eBay and maybe you'll get lucky with an open auction. Or if you want, get a Japanese Dreamcast and then buy a BIOS chip from Alibaba for like $7. Flash it with a region-free BIOS and just play on just a regular old Japanese Dreamcast. Wow, okay, now we're getting serious. Thank God I found other people. I've been on for 2 hours alone. Okay, cool. Let's follow these guys. I was hanging out in Celia. Oh, I spelled it wrong, but that's okay. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining in, my friend. Yeah, at the time, it was the only ship with anyone playing. I should have hung out in Vega. Always cooler here. Alright, sweet. Look at all of us wonderful players. Alright, where are we going to next? We gotta get 50 cal up to level 80. Guess I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious, but okay, where did everybody go? Shit, how did I lose everybody? Area map. Okay, sweet. Okay. Oh, stop. There we go. Perfect. Item, area map. Where is everybody? Man. You can play Alt and get lots of cool loot. Mono grinder, diamate, mono fluid. Yep, you can totally get DreamPi to work on a 0. In fact, I know one person that I think what they ended up doing was they put their Raspberry Pi Zero. They were talking to me on I think it was just talking in the chat here in PSO, and I guess what they ended up doing was they somehow hooked up their Pi Zero to their main phone line and had it hook up to like an iPhone app or something, where if they wanted to turn on their line voltage inducer or something, they could just do it over their phone, and they could just turn basically all of their phone lines into in their house into an active, I guess an active channel to connect to their DreamPi. I'm explaining it all wrong, but it sounded to me as though the way they hooked it up was they could plug in their Dreamcast into any phone jack in their house, and it would connect to a DreamPi at a source, like a main hub rather, and they can just connect to it from anywhere in their house, which sounded pretty cool. But again, don't quote me on it. I'm probably misrepresenting what they did. Yeah, man, you should totally dust off your old DC. It's so funny. Like, I remember when this was first launched, hearing about it, but there was so little promotion, or at least promotion that was effective when it first came out, that I didn't even bat an eye at it. I saw a couple of commercials here and there, and then it was gone, and that was it. But I think I've mentioned it quite a few times in the past that oh, that's right, I can't use any traps because we're not in Ultimate. Vega has TFF++ for crazy XP. Do you have a shotgun? Most of them do not work. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out a strategy for our friend 50 Cal. So we don't need that, we don't need this. Can anyone use this? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that saber that I picked up. Looks like a pretty cool one to me. I can't use it, so enjoy. Alright, let's follow... Who are we following? No prob. Okay, should I retire the shotgun only because I kind of want to let 50 Cal have an opportunity to tag a lot of things. Oh, that guy's got that cool mag that has the Dreamcast. I wonder where you find that one. I wonder which quest it's in. I may have some things in the bank you could use. I wonder if I have anything on me actually right now that this guy can use. Okay, where to? Oh, let's try this. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, anything in here? Nothing but pretty little jellyfish. And tag. Okay, we need to each find a pad. Oh, no, that's not it. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Alright, I'm gonna go with Sega 1. And hopefully... Okay, come on. Jesus. There we go. Ah, didn't want to do that. That was a cool mag, though. Okay, bang, bang, bang. Okay, we're all teched up. Let's hit the button. Boom! Success! If you still have your Saturn, you can actually use your DreamPi to reconnect to Netlink, actually. There's a couple of people doing that at the moment, playing some old Saturn games online. I can't remember which games they're playing, probably a few racing games, but doing it all through Netlink, which is kind of cool. No players showed up on oh, all the Quake 3 players showed up. I totally suck at Q3, but enjoy it. I love Star Lancer. That game is so fun. Okay. What do we got here? Try grinder. Well, that's always useful. Actually, I wonder if... Can I use one of my grinders now? No, not quite there. I think I only have try grinders too. I'll try a die and a mono grinder in a bit. Let's follow our friends. See if we can complete this level. Oh, here we go. Perfect. 100 XP. Oh man, it's been a while since we haven't played an ultimate. Okay, let's take these guys out. Sweet, someone's boosting me up with some nice tech. Oh, these slimes are so annoying. Now what's in here? Okay, we'll heal up. I don't really need to use that because... Oh, Bob loves the hockey. I wish I was more of a hockey fan and had more to offer. Oh shit. Okay. 50 cal. Are you tagging these guys? Alright, hopefully our friend 50 cal is able to tag some of these enemies, otherwise we're just stealing all his XP. Good idea. Just try and tag so you get the XP and we'll do the heavy lifting. Okay. One, two, three. Take these guys out. This way, Sega. Alright. Oh, everybody went this way. Cool. Now, the good thing about this particular area is sometimes, even on very hard, you find some interesting mags. I'm curious to see if we get anything good. Okay, star atomizer, no thanks, no thanks. And ever since I got the guard wave and got above level 101, it's really hard to find anything useful. That said, I think I have to do more levels in Ultimate, more quests rather in Ultimate. See about finding the good gear. Perfect, we took him out. Alright, let's jump in. Cave 3, sweet. Okay, so now if memory serves me correctly, this is a fairly short level. I guess we're gonna find out. Bang, tag them all. Hopefully our friend manages to get some good stuff. Let's just see if we can find anything here. Nope. Bang. Oh, no, he's already taken out. And I'm firing at a blank wall. And did we get anything? Yes, we did. Okay, sweet. Okay, where did everybody go? We lost a player. Who did we lose? Nobody. Okay, cool. Let's go through here. Why not? Oh, man. These guys are not nearly as much of a pain in the ass as I remember. Okay, dead end. No biggie. Alright, let's just get out of here. Start clearing out the other exit. Okay, so is this the door? No. This is the door here. Perfect. Oh no. Okay, well, it didn't really matter much anyways because my character is far too strong for very hard. Okay, we'll go around here. I think I remember this level now. Should have done this map enough times. Okay, we'll just wait for everybody. Boom. Boom, boom. Part of me wonders if I switch over to my other weapon just so I'm doing single shots, but I guess we are getting enough XP that it makes it sort of worth its time. I don't want to kill everything so quickly. Okay, we'll go through here, unlock that, which unlocks this. And where does this bring us? For some reason I think we have to go up and around, if memory serves me correctly. Okay, we gotta take these guys out first, and then we all gotta step on a pad. Okay. I remember how it goes. No, I haven't tried PSO2. I've seen a few gameplay videos of it. Looks like it's fun, but I can see how purists might not enjoy it as much. Whatever that means. It does have some extra content that looks interesting, like doing some sort of like open world, not open world rather, but like some what's the best way to describe it? Sort of like when I remember playing games like Unreal back in the day. Just some tournament style fighting maps. Those look like they're a little bit of fun. Okay, cool. We open up this door. But again, haven't got around to it. Haven't played Blue Burst. Haven't played PSO2. Just PSO version 2 for Dreamcast. Haven't even gotten around to playing Phantasy Star Universe for PS2. Despite having that game for, geez, it must be at least 3 months now. I'd really like to kind of try that out. Somebody mentioned that there are some servers still online for that game, which could be kind of interesting. Okay, this is done. So you enjoyed PSO Part 2? PSO 2? Is there a main quest? Like, is it... Because I know the main quest for Phantasy Star Online isn't that great, but I'm curious if there's a main quest for Phantasy Star Online 2 that, I don't know, might be a little bit more engaging. Because the main quest for Phantasy Star Online is pretty weak, I gotta admit. It's good to get it done, but I guess if you play just the online mode a couple of times, it gets kind of boring to play the offline mode. Nothing's really lagging on my end, but it could be just the stream is struggling a little bit. It kind of seems to want to cut in and out. Yay, Bob came back. Okay, are we supposed to stand on other pads somewhere, or how does this work? There we go. Okay, so Bob was kind of taking a break there, I guess. Take this guy out, and does it open up this door? Please say it does. No, we got more slimes to take out first. Yeah, that would be nice if they did a bit more variation in the different levels. I guess that is the one thing that this guess that is the one thing that this game suffers from, is it is a bit repetitive. I got this from Kuroheim, actually. I think I grabbed... I don't know, I got this in a special quest. A seasonal event. Okay, and then where do we go from here? We go over here. Nail this guy. Frantic fauna, maybe? Alright, where do we go? Every other month, just look in Altamira. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Nope, this isn't it. Okay, where to next? I think we're supposed to go through here. Is there another door that we haven't opened? Let's go to item map, area map. Okay, it looks like there's quite a few different spots. Oh, fuck. They all know where they're going. Of course I don't. Coming. Got distracted. Okay, am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Straight ahead. To the left. And where do we go from here? I think we go this way, maybe? Yes. Okay, perfect. We're catching up. Alright, I feel like we're finding the end here. Okay, what do we need to hit? What do we need to take out? There's got to be something here to take out. Okay, we missed something. What did we miss? One of these doors. Now, some of these doors are secret. Oh, he got it. Okay, so what did we have to do? Battle mode. That was the word I was looking for. My brain is turning to mush after being quarter to one and playing this game for 2.5 hours. Okay, these guys are not nearly as painful as they were in Ultimate mode. Alright, here we go. Perfect. Oh, come on. Okay, where else are we supposed to go? What did we miss? Area map. Okay, we missed a bunch of spots down here. Let's try those doors. Okay. Okay, sorry if the stream is laggy. I've been trying to fix it up. It looks pretty good on my end, so I don't know what I could do to improve it. Maybe I'll bring down the bitrate again. Just give me 1 sec. See, settings, stream, output. Let's bring it down to 1800. Let me know if that helps at all. Okay. Let's jump around here. Okay. And I feel like the end door is here somewhere. Come on, we gotta be able to end this somehow. Item, area map. Okay, I think this is it. Oh, part of me wanted to use a trap. Forgot that I'm in very hard and not ultimate. Okay, bang, bang, bang. Okay, where is that last guy? Okay, sweet. Awesome. Alright, end boss, guys. End boss. Let's make it happen. Come on, Bob. Bob, Bob, Bob. Let's go. Alright. Sweet. Okay, the stream health is not looking good. Sorry guys, it does look like it's starting to lag a little bit. I apologize for that. I'm gonna close some of my other applications. Hopefully that'll help. Oh geez, I had iTunes open? It's just looking for problems. Probably trying to download 75,000 podcasts all at once. Okay, let's use our Yasminkov again. There we go. Now the stream seems healthy again. Oh, it's lagging again. Okay. Come on, Big Mag. Sweet, we did it. Nice. All right, we're going back to Pioneer. Okay. Good game, everybody. Well, that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Items. Let's go to the Techer. Yes, let's see what we got. Ah, I didn't want to equip that item. Item. Drop. What else do we have here? Deposit. Nope. I think we're good. Okay, so that's funny. All right, guys. I got a jet. It's been like 3 hours. I'll be on tomorrow. Night all. Alright, back to the lobby we go. Okay guys, I'm sorry about the stream issues that we're having. I don't know what's lagging so much. But hopefully we have it all fixed by tomorrow. Maybe my internet just needs to take a break. Okay, so first thing we've got to do is save to our VMU. Character data saved. Cool. And let's quit our game. And we're going back to the main screen. Sounds good. All right, that was a lot of fun, everybody. Got in 2.5 hours of Phantasy Star Online. So it's about 1:45 here. I'm gonna turn it off. And hopefully get on tomorrow. Probably closer to around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. That seems to be when most of the other people get on, so be a good opportunity to jump in and just kind of check things out, see what kind of players are playing that early in the evening, as I generally don't get the opportunity to do so. So that'll be a lot of fun. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and I will see you when I see you. All right, night.